I suggest, of course, that the former royal, known as the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, is indeed playing with people's affections. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Nice to see you today. Thank you so much as ever for your time. You all right? So a bit of a lacklustre wave, isn't it? Yes, not bad. I'm glad you've joined me. It's nice to share all of this news with you. And thank you as ever for supporting the channel and, of course, liking so many of the videos. I'm glad you enjoy, as I say, the history ones. They're good fun to do. And what about that Hollywood story about the song? When you listen to them both, trust me, it's the same song, isn't it? I mean, whichever way you look at it. But again, as somebody pointed out in the comments, well, perhaps, somebody was just being a gentleman. In today's world, you'd be straight across a court, wouldn't you? Millions of dollars, all of that sort of stuff. It's a strange world, Hollywood, why some things go and some things don't you think? It's very, very odd, But thank you as ever. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now, let's get back to your royal story of the day. It's not been a spectacular week, really, has it, for Meghan Markle? Hollywood Reporter, Daily Beast, all of these people coming out and attacking her, basically saying diva delight, diva duchess in stilettos, all of that sort of stuff. I don't know about you, we all know exactly how difficult Meghan Markle is, You could see that on those trips in the very early days. To me, she was always looking for the camera, she was always looking for the opportunity, and once that was in the bag, the right picture, and directly into the lens, she kind of got bored. She didn't really want to meet people, you could sense that. And even on those recent fake tours, it just screamed hypocrisy, because she didn't want to do it inside the royal family, but now there's a bit of bucks attacks, then they'll do it, You kind of wonder, well, what's that about? Why would you want to do it for one and not the other? But of course, Meghan, as I say, is going through a very, very rough time. Simply because this is now coming from the Hollywood attacks, It's not necessarily just from, say, staffers over here who were working inside royal palaces. We were told, of course, that Meghan went through absolute trouble and strife, and nobody believed exactly the difficulties that she had endured. Well, no, because, many people suggest it was completely fake. Harry never truly believed it. You could see that, allegedly, sitting alongside her on the Oprah Winfrey interview. And the same thing happened on the recent Sunday morning interview with Jane Pauley, It was one of those things where, as I said to you before, what was it about the Parents Network and these poor people, seemingly to me, looked to be exploited for whatever reason other than Meghan looking glorious once again in beige and soft focused light. Harry looking bored, playing around with his shoes and looking scruffy and disinterested. Clearly there was something going on, and we learned that behind the scenes after that particular venture had been filmed. And then this popped up, right?
In danger and severely depressed. At the time, I think you were pregnant with Archie.
That's right.
The wrong time to be severely depressed, if there was the right time. But you told the audience that you needed to tell your husband, Harry, because if you didn't, you were afraid you would do it. And yet you were reluctant to tell your husband because you didn't know how he would react. And how did Harry react?
Well, he's a very loving husband, so I'm here. I think, what you're saying to me really also speaks to the courage that these parents that you'll have more time with, do you know what it takes for them to talk about this experience? And how brave they are to talk about this experience for other families and other parents, and to relive that grief, but to do it in such a purpose-driven way to help save other children.
Yes, leaked footage of Meghan being asked further about her suicidal attempt while inside the palace. And Miss Pauley again really did an excellent job, but let me tell you one thing. And it's interesting this bit was not agreed to be broadcast. This was one of the cuts that were taken out of the final edit because apparently Meghan didn't feel comfortable dealing with it. Others might suggest, of course, there's more money to be made when eventually it hits the bookstore, so why give it away free in a television interview for a certain limited amount of money? You see how this works. So why did it emerge now and the secret leaks truly were the secret? Well, as ever, I've been told that it wasn't secret at all. Basically, CBS have the right to release any footage they want from that particular interview. Yes, they have to ask the people involved, and that includes everybody that they've interviewed on that particular segment. Now, what's interesting is Meghan allegedly gave her blessing for this to go out, so not so secret. So why now would she change her mind? Well, it's very obvious, isn't it, you see? When you're having a terrible time in the media, particularly with the tabloids, where even the Hollywood Reporter's against you, and you're doing your best to flag around on the US Weekly, well, how about reiterating a story that made you very depressed, and more importantly, out there for some sympathy, others might suggest? And this is the reason why, miraculously, on the week that Harry's garnering some very positive PR, some might suggest also, while out in New York, Meghan herself has to wrestle and battle and take all this on herself about just what a tyrant behind the scenes she is at Archwell. Either way, there is no secret. It was fully agreed. Everybody at CBS knows, and Meghan Markle knows, right? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.